just text me to let you know that he's in the waiting room.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting ready to just let some folks in. He's position 10. Thank you, Jasmine.
Welcome.
They should be in just a minute. All right. Good morning, Mr. Williams. I'm going to mute your device. Just a minute. We're going to come back to you. I'm sorry, it's Miss Williams. I'll come back to you in a minute. Let me just make some announcements. Get the last person in. And I do have a court reporter on the.
Yes.
Oh, Miss Worley. Oh, Miss Greenhouse. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And Latasha, how come you left? Come back. All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Diane Bessen. I'm the judge presiding over this calendar. This is the criminal status calendar for March 25th, 2021. We do have a fair amount of folks here today. It's a status calendar, so I'm just going to try and get reports from everyone about the status of your case. Somebody's microphone is on that I'm hearing. Okay, thank you. So this is a criminal status calendar, and these are cases that have already appeared on a plea arraignment. I'm trying to get an announcement from people to see whether or not the state and the defense can enter into a negotiated plea, and if not, if the case is ready for trial. We are starting back up with civil trials this next month, and I anticipate in May and June, we are going to be able to start back up with criminal trials. So some of these cases, particularly older ones, they're going to be ready. I'm going to need announcements. The solicitor is going to present to you the final offer. And then if you decide not to take it, the case will be set down for trial. At the time of trial, if you decide to enter a plea, the offer will not be as good as it is today. So this is sort of your last final chance to get a recommendation from the solicitor that you might accept. And if not, that's fine. And we'll set the case for trial. But if you decide to enter a plea at a later date, or the case is tried and you're not successful, the penalties will potentially not be as good as the offer as you got today. I do have, for those of you that may not have been on these Zoom calendars before, let me just explain to you, everyone is on the call. Everyone can hear everything that you're going to be saying. If you are a defendant, you need to be very careful about what it is you say, because it's not only being broadcast to everyone on the call, but it's all, and here in the courtroom, and we do have one individual in the courtroom, but also it's on a live YouTube channel. If you have decided that you want to have any discussions with either the prosecutor or your attorney privately, I can put you in what is referred to as a breakout room. And that's where you will get an invite to join a private room that you will have an opportunity to have a discussion with your attorney or the solicitor about your case. After that, I'm going to need you to come back into this main room so I can get an announcement about the case and whether or not it's going to resolve and so forth. But again, because you're in a public forum here, please be careful about what it is you say, because anything you say can be used against you at time of trial if you're not able to work out a plea. I am going to try and go through the private attorney cases first. I apologize to my public defenders for that. It's a large calendar, and I'd like to get as many folks out of here, but only have one case, because I know generally you, Daryl and Jasmine, have more than that. The first matter I'm going to take is Joselle Cowan, Melinda Johnson. It's position 1.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
I tried to reach Mr. Braxton earlier in the week, and I was unable to do so. Based off the last conversation we had, his plea recommendation involved a DUI, and at this time, we are not in agreement. I would like to continue to try to work this out with the solicitor.
And let me find out, this is Mr. Walker's case. Is the officer still around?
To my knowledge, Your Honor, yes, and the state is ready to go forward. I did try to reach Attorney Johnson, but I was unsuccessful, but the offer remains the same as far as the DUI.
Would this be a first?
It is a first in life DUI.
Okay. And the reason it's so old, was there a bond forfeiture?
I have to pull up Odyssey, Your Honor.
While we're talking, maybe Aisha, you could check because mine isn't pulled up yet either. I should have done that and I didn't.
It was initially a bond forfeiture, but it has been reset a couple of times for a plea.
It was reset for plea.
Mm-hmm.
And has Ms. Johnson been the attorney all the time on this?
The first time, initially he was pro se when he came in person, because I remember this case.
Okay.
But no, she got on February.
Okay. Well, and the offer is, what is the offer, Mr.?
It's going to be a standard first in life DUI.
Standard first, okay.
But with the exception to a $300 fine for the obstruction.
So an additional $300 fine for the obstruction, okay.
Yes, all
And if
other charges will merge or either be null prize for the speeding and
Okay. And
reckless
so,
driving.
and let me just say, because the case is older and I'm not sure, partly it sounds like that's because of defendants maybe not being notified or not keeping the court informed of his location. I would be willing to suspend the $300 fine on the obstruction if an agreement can be reached, let's say within the next week. And if not, we'll just
Okay.
put it in a stack for trial. This is,
Yes,
and let me just say, because this is a 2015, it really is one of my oldest cases. So I'm going to take them in order of age. So it would be one of the, I'm not saying it'd be the first one, but it would clearly appear on a first or second calendar.
I understand, Judge. And again, I would like to continue to talk to the state. And I will talk to my client about what you just said. And if you'd like for me to email report with your, or the case manager, Judge, and the solicitor, I'll be happy to do that within a week to let you know
Okay.
the final.
That would be great. And
Well-
actually, if you're just let her know one way or another, either we're able to enter a plea because we can get you on a plea calendar
Okay.
ASAP. If not, we'll put you on a trial calendar. So
Thank you.
right now, I'm going to set it down for trial calendar unless I hear otherwise.
Okay.
All
I
right.
appreciate it, Judge.
Thank you.
May I be excused?
Yes. On the
Thank you.
next case, position 6, Samantha Gurley, Mr. Stidham.
Yes, Judge. I did hear from Mr. Strobel yesterday. We have an offer. We have discovery. Unfortunately, I had a house emergency yesterday afternoon, so I have not actually been able to speak with my client since I heard from Mr. Strobel. So I will get with her, certainly update the court within a reasonable amount of time. If the case were trial, we'd be ready. I don't anticipate any issues with being ready for trial, but we are trying to get this worked out.
All right. So from this point, I'm going to put it on a jury calendar unless I hear otherwise.
That's fine, Judge. As long as we can just hold open the possibility of getting it resolved by plea, but we will be
Right.
ready.
So if in fact that happens, you and or Mr. Strobel should let Ms. Hardy know, and we can get you take a plea this way virtually. We could do it next week. So just let me know. Okay.
Absolutely, Judge. Thank you. That's my only.
Thank you. Yes, free to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shannon Render, position 10, Anthony McFarland.
Your Honor, I filed a no process on that this morning.
You filed a no pros. Did we discuss that already?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I actually
I'll
had
send you a
Just a minute, Mr. McFarland, just a minute. Was Shannon Render, was she on the call earlier? That's a he.
Your Honor,
He
Your
was.
Honor,
He
Your Honor, I'm
was.
the attorney on the case.
That's
you hear me?
Attorney
Oh, I'm
Renner.
sorry.
Your
I'm
Honor.
sorry.
Yeah.
Can
I'm
you hear me, Your
sorry.
Honor?
Yes, I'm sorry. My coffee's
Yeah.
still trying to kick in.
I'm
They've
sending
issued a
you.
no pros on this. So
Well-
you will get a copy of that
Mhm.
via email.
You're right, because I had some mitigating discovery that was dispositive. So, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter at this point.
No, that's just called good lawyering, right?
Yeah,
That's
hope Mr. McFarland heard that.
I know. I'm trying to see if he's on the call, but you and Mr. McFarland are free to go. There'll be a no pros sent to you, and that completes the case. Okay.
Yes, it's always a pleasure, Judge Bessen.
Thank you. The
Have a
next
great day.
matter, position 14, Gina Pham, Mr. Tiku. I know you were on the call.
Good morning, Judge. We just got communication with Mr. Walker yesterday. Prior to that, I had been trying to resolve the case with Mr. Braxton. I was made aware yesterday that Mr. Walker now has the case, and he made an offer to us, which I'm still trying to talk to my client about it. So we're going to announce ready for trial subject to any conflicts, but
right.
also would like to continue talking with Mr. Walker to see if we can resolve it.
Okay, so you have not talked to Mr. Walker yet?
We spoke, Your Honor.
We spoke yesterday, Judge.
Okay, and let me ask, what was the offer, if I can find out?
It was anger management.
How much time? 8 weeks, 2 days, what?
2 days.
2 days, Your Honor.
Oh, that's a pretty reasonable offer. You haven't talked to your client yet, Mr. Tiku?
I did. I spoke to my client, but we're still trying to mold to see. We're going through the evidence that we have to see if I can convince her to take the plea or to go for trial.
Okay, because she seems to be, is that her sitting in your office with you?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, well, I on a lot of these, we're trying to get them moved, and I think that's quite a reasonable offer, although I don't know anything about the case, but is there a time limit on the offer, Mr. Walker?
I didn't put an explicit time limit, but I did explain to counsel that this was a pre-trial offer only, and if the defendant wishes to go forward with a trial, the offer, obviously the state's recommendation would not be the same. 2-day anger management, that's the state's best and final offer that I could provide on a case like this.
I understand Mr. Walker's position, but I just want the plea to be extended for about 2 weeks, so I can, within 2 weeks, we'll know if we're going to take the plea or not.
Okay, well, it might be just because your client's sitting there in the office. If you wanted to take some time right now and discuss it with her and get back on, in other words, turn your video off and or dial off and come back on in a half hour, I can get an announcement then from you as well. It just seems like everyone's here and either she's interested in taking it or she's not.
I would like to talk to Mr. Walker to get some more information, because if the court can give us a week or two, I would really appreciate that. So I can also talk to Mr. Walker about it.
Okay,
I'll be glad to talk to counsel, but the offer pretty much is going to remain the same. But
okay. And she didn't qualify for PTI. Let me just ask that question.
She did. That's not the state's offer, Your Honor. No.
Yeah,
okay.
What I was trying, the reason why I'm trying to get, I'm going back and forth with this. My client is
okay. So let me, if I can interrupt you, Mr. Tiku, would you like to right now go into a breakout room with Mr. Walker and talk to him privately about the case?
Yes, Judge.
Let me do that, just because again, you're here, your client's here. It's not a complex issue. It's either 2-day anger management or not. And then we can have a sort of a firm idea of what's going to happen. So I'm going to put you and Mr. Walker in breakout room 1. You'll get something that'll say join. Click on that. When you're finished, please come back into this main room so I can get an announcement from everyone. Okay.
Okay.
I would just really appreciate you doing that so we can,
of course.
Yay or nay. Like I say, it's not terribly complicated, and I understand if your client doesn't want to take it, that's fine. I just want to know where the case is going. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So I'm going to put you in breakout room 1. Come back here when you're done. And Mr. Walker is breakout room number 1, so I can remember that. The next case, Miss Barnes, boy, she's having a problem. She keeps getting kicked out. Latasha, Let me come back to her in just a second, unless I know Latasha, are you here or?
I'm here.
I know you keep getting bounced out.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Your Honor. I'm here.
That's okay. Mr. Lewis, what's the announcement on that?
Yes, I spoke with the prosecutor yesterday, Mr. Walker, and he gave me an offer. We talked about the case, and at this time, we're not able to take that offer, so we're gonna have to put on a trial calendar.
Okay, he is in a breakout room discussing
Okay.
case with someone else, but I'm going to indicate that we spoke with you and you're ready for trial.
Yeah.
Okay, very good to see you. Hope you're well and your family.
Yes, you too. Good to see you, Judge.
Take
Thank
care.
you. And we'll be notified by email or mail.
Yes.
Okay.
When were
Thank
you
you.
when were you in this court? Like last century?
Last year. It was last year.
No, I
in
mean,
August.
when were you a prosecutor here?
Oh God. 6 years ago.
6. It feels everything
It
always
feels like
seems
10.
shorter or longer. But anyway, well, good to see you. Take care. We'll set
Good
you
to
down
see
for
you.
trial.
All right. Thank you. Have a
Mr.
good one.
Strozier, your position is next. Hendrickson, Miss Hendrickson. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Judge. We will enter a negotiated plea. I need a plea date, please.
Okay, Mr. Walker, as you know, is on speaking to someone else, but we can actually, Aisha, how busy is our next week plea dates?
Well,
I
we
know
already have,
we set a lot down, I know, for those 2 days.
so it's gonna be like over 40 cases on each calendar.
Oh, so
Well,
let's not
you
do that.
wouldn't be doing me a favor by sticking me on a calendar that already has 40 pleas, Judge.
I know. No, they're not pleased.
No, they're not pleased.
They're just, let me ask this. So, let's see. No, I'm not going to put you on that. Just a minute. Let me see what our next calendar is. Oh, I'm not sure we have those set yet. Do we, Aisha?
No, it's gonna be like probably the 3rd week of April.
All right. You'll get notice by, we haven't set those yet. Excuse me, but it'll be the latter part of April.
So we're going to be noticed by email, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. Maybe it's may I be excused.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Next case is Mr. Bixen's Varela, John Varela, position 18.
Good morning, Your Honor. I spoke to the state yesterday about this case. It looks like there is 2 issues. One, there's some remaining discovery that they need to send our way. And the second is we have spoken, well, at least have shot an email to Ms. Nancy Mao in regards to possible diversion, and I'm waiting to hear back on that as well.
Okay, is that correct, Mr. Strobel? Is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor. There's some videos that they're in Odyssey, but I can't figure out how to download them yet. So we're trying to figure that out to get them provided to Mr. Bixen.
So are they body cam?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And also we're waiting to hear back from regarding PTI. So let's put this, Aisha, on a final plea calendar. I'm not obligating you, Mr. Bixen, to a final plea. It's just, I'm not sure it's really appropriate to put it on a trial calendar just yet.
I agree, Judge.
If you're able to get a positive response from Ms. Mao, please let Ms. Hardy know and Mr. Strobel. He
Certainly.
probably would be automatically advised, but if we can move it off our docket, that would be great. But so we'll put you on a final plea calendar probably in 6 weeks.
Okay,
And
we'll
hopefully you'll
just
know
get-
something by then.
We'll
Okay?
just get a mail notice on that, Judge.
Yes.
Okay. May we be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Have a good day, Judge.
Thanks. Position 19, Tretnick, Adam Tretnick, and I believe who was here?
Good morning, Judge. Aaron Donalick from Scott
Yes.
Smith's office. We just are going to announce ready for trial.
Okay, and you did get a final offer?
Yes, I believe so. It's another associate in my office who's assigned to this case, but I'm just filling in. And
Okay.
she did get a final offer.
And it is Casey that's assigned to it, right?
It's Mary Agramonte.
Mary Agramonte. Okay. Usually it's Casey that shows up.
Guy that handles our things, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just so you know, we'll put you on trial calendar and we'll take it from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you. Next case, Suni Williams. Mr. Kelbaugh, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. We have a negotiated plea. I have sent the paperwork to Ms. Hardy and to Solicitor Walker.
Is the plea ready now for today? Yes,
Yes.
Aisha's saying yes. Okay. And Aisha, did I get a copy of that plea
Yes,
paperwork?
yes. Deb just resent it.
Oh, I'll look. I'm sure it's Suni Williams. I got it. I can go and take that now. Let me find out, Mr. Kelbaugh, your other case before I do that, which is position 24. What is the status of that?
Your Honor, that case,
Mr. Freeman.
Your Honor, that case has a cross defendant who I believe is also on the call, represented by Mr. Coleman.
Good morning, Your Honor. Yes, I represent Miss Sharon Barber. She's also on the call.
That's position 25. Okay.
Yeah, Miss Barber and Miss Freeman are cross defendants. I filed an order for dismissal on yesterday. I believe that Mr. Kelbaugh e-filed his this morning. The parties do not wish to testify and go forward against each other.
Okay, and these are Mr. Walker's cases. I see he's
That is
back.
correct, Your Honor.
Right.
Okay, and are you able to make the case without the testimony of either individual?
The state is, Your Honor.
Okay, and that would be based on what?
The evidence that the state has available, Your Honor. I will be speaking to Attorney Kelbaugh. I understand that his co-defendants are involved in this case, but as of right now, the state is prepared to go forward and ready for trial.
Okay, and so are there, I sort of needed some more information. Is there body cam? Are there photographs? What else have you
Your
got?
Honor, I think that's the state's trial strategy, and the state is prepared to go forward.
All right, well, that's fine, but I'm just going to restate something I stated earlier. If we show up for court on this, and I've got yours, and I'm not going to have a lot of them, and there is no sufficient other evidence other than the testimony of these two individuals, I will not be happy.
I understand, Your Honor, and the state will be proceeding with the cases. I will be having an additional conversation with Attorney Kelbaugh, but as of right now, the state will be proceeding with the cases.
All right, I'm going to put him down for trial. Miss Hardy, hi. Could you indicate on these files that the parties have both indicated that they're not willing to testify?
Yes, and I have the orders and the files.
You do? Great. Okay, thank you. All right, so Mr. Kelbaugh, let me go ahead back to your previous case, Williams, and see if I can take the plea on that. I see Sonny Williams is on the call. Miss Williams, can I see your face? Good morning. Oh, let's see if you can unmute yourself.
Good morning.
Okay, good morning, Miss Williams. Let me ask you to raise your right hand, please, if you could, where I could see it. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this case is the truth and the whole truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Let me just state for the record, this is the State versus Sunni, S-U-N-N-I, Williams, case 19-CR007879J. She's represented by Attorney William Kelbaugh, K-E-L-B-A-U-G-H. Mr. Kelbaugh, and let's see, Mr. Walker, what is the terms of the negotiated plea?
Yes, Your Honor. To the one count of battery, substantial physical harm, the state's recommendation is a 12-month probated sentence with the condition of an 8-week anger management course with no further contact with the victim, whose name is Saba Allah Cobb. Saba is her first name and it's spelled S-A-B-A-H.
Thank you. Mr. Kelbaugh, is that your understanding of the terms of the plea?
Yes, Your Honor. We would just ask that the probation be allowed to terminate when Ms. Williams completes her, or or go non-reporting when she.
I think non-reporting, because there's a no further contact, non-reporting, and she won't have to pay fees. So I think that's probably, would you agree, Mr. Walker?
The state would concur, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I would also ask you to waive 3 months of the probation fees for Ms. Williams.
There's no objection, and the course is only 2 months. So if she,
Okay, I'll waive 2 months of fees. Ms. Williams,
Yes.
you've discussed this with your attorney, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand what you're entering a guilty plea to today?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand you have the right to have a trial. By entering this plea, you understand you're giving up that right. Was that explained to you?
Yes, ma'am.
You're entering this plea freely and voluntarily, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You've not been promised anything or threatened in any way in order to enter this plea?
No, I haven't.
Good, you answered. That's the trick question. So I have here, I can't pull this up for you, but I am looking at your plea paperwork. Did you go over that with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the information in those documents?
No, ma'am.
All right, and so you understand that technically you've been sentenced to 12 months in jail. Instead of serving that time in jail, you're agreeing to the terms of probation, which is the 8-week anger management and no further contact with Ms. Cobb. If you violate either one of those, you understand that we potentially could sentence you to the balance of the 12 months in jail. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. And she's going to be contacted by probation, Ms. Hardy? Yes. Okay. You're to sign up for probation when they contact you. Mr. Kelbaugh, did you have anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Anything further, Mr. Walker?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right. So then we'll go ahead and accept the plea. Ms. Williams and Mr. Kelbaugh, you're free to go. Thank you very much.
Thank
Your Honor, Mr. Freeman is also excused. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. I think Miss Bryant showed up, position 22, Mr. Odom. Good morning, Miss Bryant.
Good morning.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
Doing
I have
fine.
an easy announcement for position 22. That the state will be submitting a null process on this matter this morning.
No pros.
No
Okay.
objection, Judge.
You sure?
Absolutely.
So we'll, when that gets submitted and signed, we'll get a copy. Miss Hardy will email a copy to you, so you'll have one for you and your client. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're free to go.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Have a good
Thank
one.
you, Attorney Bryan.
And then I have,
Your Honor, we have an announcement on position number 14. I don't know if I can.
oh, yes, absolutely. You're back. I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
Mr. Walker was nicer today than he was yesterday. So an offer that we're going to accept the offer.
And the offer was what?
He was reducing it to disorderly conduct, and my client is still going to be 2 days under management, but it's been reduced to disorderly conduct.
It's going to be 2 days anger management, but the charge will be adjusted or amended to disorderly conduct. Is that right, Mr. Walker?
Yes, and that's going to be the county violation, Your Honor.
Okay. So we'll set this down for a plea. I can't give you a plea date today. I'd like to take the plea today, but obviously we don't have the paperwork.
Are we taking pleas next Wednesday or Thursday? Or-
Well, the problem is we already have a lot of cases on
Okay.
those. The only other option would be she's sitting there in his office. If someone wanted to email him the paperwork, she signed it and got it back to us.
I can multitask, Your Honor. Just give me a moment. I will.
Would that be all right, Mr. Tiku?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because then we could resolve the case today. He'll get the paperwork to you. You'll print it out, have your client sign the documents, scan it back to Mr. Walker and Miss Hardy, and then we can take the plea in 20 minutes.
That'll be fine. If I can have Miss Hardy's email address.
Good. I have it. It's tikuassociates.com.
That's correct.
Okay, I'm typing out the email as we speak.
Just will you also copy Miss Hardy on that?
Absolutely.
And so
Doctor.
he can reply all and she'll get a copy and then she'll be able to send it to me.
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. So we'll come back to that. See, I love that. So we're going to come back for a plea on that probably in about 20 minutes. Let me, one other matter. Oh, Miss Boykin is here for Walker. That's also a plea?
Yes, that's a time served plea, Your Honor.
That
Yes,
case is you. Good morning, Miss
Yes,
Boykin.
Good morning, Your Honor. We are set for a plea. We've discussed the terms. However, just on your advice previously, my client is having difficulty with the forms. So I didn't know if we could, what the court's process was, if we could take the plea over the Zoom or if it, with the court.
So I can
prefers.
take the plea via Zoom. That's what I would do, but I do need the plea paperwork signed ahead of time. Were they unable to print it off and sign it and get it back
it
to
seems
you?
like there's some technical difficulties. So I'm on the line with him now, trying to see if we can work it out while you're going through the rest of the calendar.
So if you
Hold
can
on.
get the paperwork to him, get it signed, and he scans it or takes a picture of it and gets it back to us, certainly I can, but I can't proceed without all that documents, with all that signed.
Yes, Your Honor, understood.
And I don't know if he's able to come to your office or, yeah, I'll leave that with you. So what I'll do is I'm going to come back to you. The calendar is going to take about another 45 minutes, unfortunately, maybe less, but just come back and let me know what your announcement is. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
All right. And then I'm going to handle position 30, Larry Eagles. He is here in court. He is seated at what's listed as the prosecutor. No, you can sit right there. Just sit right there, sir, because everyone can see you.
Okay.
I'm trying to unmute you. Could you speak into that microphone? Let's see if we can hear you or not.
Testing.
Very good. Perfect. This is Mr. Walker's case. Did you speak to Mr. Eagles, Mr. Walker?
I did not have the opportunity to speak with Mr. Eagle. I'm sorry, I was sending the email. What position?
No, I know you're busy. You want me to come
No,
back
the
to
email
this?
sent. What position?
It's 30 on the status calendar.
Okay.
Would you like him to call you? He can step outside and call you if you'd like.
That's absolutely fine. I can give him my Google Voice number.
Okay, why don't you chat that to me and I'll write that down and get that to him.
Okay, I'm doing that right now, Your
Honor. So what's going to happen, Mr. Eagles, is I'm going to give you a phone number. And you're going to step outside and call the prosecutor on your phone and discuss the case with him and then come back in here when you're finished.
Yes, ma'am.
Did he send that already? Am I missing?
I just sent it to you, Your Honor.
Oh, there it is. It was. Two, 5, 7. Ian Walker. All right, he'll call you shortly and then there you go. Thank you. Just step outside, sir, and when you're done, we'll talk.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. Let me just make a note that he is outside. Okay, so let's start back. This is potentially a plea. Let's start back at the beginning of the calendar. Shannon McCall. Is Miss McCall on the call?
Yes,
Shannon,
ma'am.
there. Shannon McCall.
Yes,
Yes,
it's under Kristen.
Yes, thank you.
That's a no process.
That's a no pros. All right, Miss McCall, that means that they're not going to prosecute your case. Has she gotten a copy yet of the?
Now, yes, I'm sending it.
All right. Deputy, could you move that microphone away from the computer? I think that's the problem. We're getting an echo here. Thank you. All right. So your case is no cost. You're free to go, ma'am.
Thank you.
Questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know why we're getting an echo all of a sudden. Oh, maybe that was hers. Okay. The next case is position 3, McThune, Urasha McThune.
We already announced no process. The attorney left.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know how I missed that. Next case, position 4, LaRon Rogers. Is Mr. Rogers here?
His notice was returned and I don't have a contact number.
So the
But I did have a
right of way.
I had an email and I sent him the link, but it was no response back.
All right, I sort of hate, well, this is a DDS case, correct?
Yes.
Then we'll just issue just DDS, that's fine. The next position, Alan Johnson, Miss Moses, good
Your
morning.
Honor, excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes.
My name is Emily Warren. I'm the victim in the previous case, Mr. Rogers.
Oh, hello.
And I was invited to attend today. What are you recommending that you just said for
Yes,
him?
ma'am. Thank you. So he is not here. And thank you for showing up.
You're welcome.
He is not here. We've been in touch with him and sent him the link, but he chose not to participate. For a traffic violation like this, I cannot issue a bench warrant for arrest, but what I can do is submit to driver services a document that basically will suspend his license until he appears.
Okay.
He may or may not care about that. I'm just going to
Yeah.
be frank with you, but
Yeah.
at some point he will have to resolve this. So if you've been in touch with the victim advocate, they will inform you if he appears somewhere or gets arrested on something else. And at that time, then perhaps the case would be able to be resolved.
Okay. And Your Honor, this is my case. The victim did suffer. I know it's a traffic accident, but the victim did suffer injuries and she does have outstanding restitution. So when he appears, that would be the main issue, would be the matter of restitution.
Okay. So, and he was he not insured or she just did pay? Well, I won't get into the details. Do you have a civil action? Or did you file a lawsuit on this, Miss Warren?
I did not. And I'm tempted to possibly still do that. The entire case was from the beginning such a headache.
Right. So you're actually probably outside the statute of limitations for that.
Yeah, probably so.
So, but we'll at some point he will appear and you'll be informed by victim witness, and you certainly would be able to show up at that time and see if something can be worked out as far as restitution. Okay.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Ms. Warren.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Miss Mose. Oh, Mr. Wright, did you, Mr. Walker, did you have a conversation yet with Mr. Eagles?
He just now called, Your
Go
Honor.
ahead.
I'm picking up.
Go
and I'll
ahead.
report back.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Alan Johnson, position 5, Jasmine, Miss Moses Counts. Good morning. Oh, I'm sorry. What was that?
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Okay. Good morning. Mr. Strobel has informed me that Mr. Johnson's probation was revoked out of Gwinnett County, which would make sense because I haven't been able to reach him. And so I don't know what case that is. Maybe Mr. Strobel knows more. I'm just now learning this.
But the revocation I referred to wasn't recent. It was a relatively short time after this one, was why I said I assumed it included this. So I don't see one.
No, I don't know anything about a revocation.
Yeah.
His notice was returned and the numbers are disconnected that I have for him. So I have no contact for him either.
All right, so this will be a bench warrant. If I find out, obviously, he's been sitting in Gwinnett at the time and was not able to appear because of he was incarcerated, then certainly I'll withdraw the bench warrant, but I will want a date for him to appear. So if you hear from him, Jasmine, please let us know and I'll withdraw that. Okay?
Thank you.
The next case we already dealt with, position 7, James Green, also your case, Ms. Moses Count.
Yes, Your Honor. So this is no slight to Mr. Strobel, as I know that he's fairly new and thus far our relationship has been quite professional. But at this point, I've reached my limit with the Solicitor General's office on this case. Mr. Green has provided proof and verification of counseling. This incident involved his entire family, including his mother and stepfather and siblings, and they all were cited in this case. After proof of counseling, all of their charges were dismissed. My client provided that same proof to Ms. Challenger. It should have been in her file, but I did send it again this morning to Mr. Strobel. I'm not sure of the willingness at this point to provide him the same offer that was originally given to him by Ms. Challenger, but at this point, this case should be dismissed. None of his family are going to testify or participate because all of their charges have been dismissed based on this proof of counseling. So at this point, I'm just asking that his case is dismissed based on the assertion and the promise that Ms. Challenger gave me as his attorney.
Dustin?
Your Honor, I'm not making any accusations. I'm just saying that there was no indication that that was the offer in the record. I will reach out to Ms. Challenger. I understand a lot of times these things were done, unfortunately, in verbal and memories dissipate. So I've asked if she has any text or email or anything that suggests that. I'll gladly look at it and I'll honor any previous thing that I can confirm, Your Honor. I'm just in a position right now where I didn't have a note or anything of that in the file.
Again, Your Honor, I'm not sure of Mr. Strobel's, how well he knows Ms. Challenger, but I have another client on this same calendar, Mr. Murphy, and his mother, who can speak to what I'm saying. There are no text messages, there are no emails. Ms. Challenger would speak to me and assure me and my clients face to face in court what the offer was.
Right.
My client
But
will do
you under, and that's why when these things don't get written down, it's problematic.
I understand.
So I'm going to put this on a final plea calendar. I'm going to give it sort of one more opportunity to maybe get resolved that way. And Mr. Strobel, if you can check with Ms. Challenger, maybe she'll have a recollection of the events, that would be really helpful.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask that not be the course for this case. My client has consistently shown up to court every time the state needs to do more research. We've had 3 solicitors since I've been in this courtroom, and at this point, I'm tired for my client. So I'm asking that this case be put on a trial calendar for the state to bring whatever witnesses they believe they have, and let's go from there.
All right, we'll do that. The only thing I'll tell you is that's fine, because then it won't appear for quite a while, and that's fine. Okay.
Because this is the issue. Is Mr. Green is on the call today, and he keeps showing up and having to take off either from work or school, whatever his priority is, for the state to keep saying the same thing. So,
excuse me, can I speak?
No, I don't think she's going to want you to. You're Mr. Green?
Yes.
Yes, that's Mr.
Hi. No, your attorney is not going to want you to say anything. So
his mother has spoken, because she's one of the alleged victims in his case. His mother has spoken to the solicitor's office. I've spoken to her as well, and she's already informed me. She's told them that the entire family, and again, Mr. Strobel has the.
Well, let me just, I don't want to go into this any further. I get your announcement. We're putting it on trial calendar. We'll move on. Thank you.
And Your Honor, I'm just going to make one last shot here. Obviously, I'm not in a position to dismiss it because of the nature of the charge. I did offer to allow him to plead to only the disorderly conduct on the ordinance. And since I won't show up on GCIC, I could also do that as a suspended sentence for 6 months, but that could be.
Suspended sentence, what that mean?
Can I just speak to Mr. Green in a breakout
yes,
room? Because
absolutely.
that offer was just given to.
Yeah, Your Honor, I just, based upon the stuff I saw today, the counseling was already done. I think that would.
All right, so I'm going to send Mr. Green, you're going to get an invite on your device that says join. Let's see, you're listed as Zoom. You're going to go to breakout room 2. Click on that. You'll speak with your attorney privately. When you're finished, come back here so I can chat with everyone and get an announcement. He's gone. Where's Jasmine? There you are, too. Thank you.
Good morning, Judge. May I have a breakout room with Mr. Walker, Solicitor Walker, not my client, Your Honor?
That's fine, Your Honor. But before the break, I would like to provide an announcement on position
Mr.
30.
Eagles?
Yeah,
Yes.
I did have the opportunity to speak with Mr. Eagles. The state did offer an 8-week anger management. The defendant advised that he already took an anger management course. He's not willing to take it again. That's absolutely fine. The state
How
was
much
just ready-
anger management did you, he's here, let's see.
I mean, the
Where-
defendant has 34 cycles, and I advised clearly the anger management class did not work the first time, and that's why the state's recommendation is what it is.
All right, let me just find out how much anger management, why can't I, there he is. Mr. Eagles, how much anger management did you do?
I think I did 6 weeks. I already did 6 weeks or 8 weeks.
6 or 8 weeks.
Right, and I understand that. However, that was
Got my
for
certificate
one of
and
his.
everything.
That
I
was one
need,
of his previous 34
yeah, please.
cycles, and this is a newer case.
This is a newer case.
So clearly, the anger management did not work the first time he took it,
So what
right.
made you think it'll work the second time?
and that's why we have trials. And that's why we have
That
trials
right, Judge?
equals, and maybe jail will work the second
Just have a
time.
seat, sir. Have a seat. Otherwise, they can't see you.
Oh,
So I explained to Mr. Eagles at trial, the state's offer would not be the same. And
All right,
perhaps
and what was your offer, Mr. Walker?
it was anger management.
For how long?
8 weeks. The defendant has quite of a.
When did you do the 8-week anger management, sir?
maybe last year, sometime.
Do you have the paperwork here or not?
No, ma'am,
No.
I didn't bring. I can bring it to you tomorrow if you want me to, Judge. But I didn't think I needed it today, but I have my certificate, I finished my class and everything. I don't know what you're talking about, I'm angry. If somebody attack you, what you gonna do? You gonna fight back? I don't know why you talking about I'm angry. I ain't
All right,
angry
just-
at
He's been
nobody.
arrested 34 times for violent offenses.
Mr. Eagles.
Just a minute.
Calm down.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Aisha, where is she? Yes, hi. Are you able to, I can't go on JCS just right now. Are you able to go on JCS and see if he completed that and when that was?
I'm not on their system for
Oh.
tracker, but he has, I think I saw a Superior Court case for him.
Oh,
Oh, that was dismissed. That's how I got in your courtroom, Judge. They dismissed it from Superior Court because they found out the people wasn't telling the truth. And the judge sent it down to the misdemeanor court. I forgot the judge's name. In her preliminary hearing, I had a preliminary hearing in her courtroom.
Was he ever on JCS probation or was it through another company? Because I don't see even a case he pled to.
I mean,
What was that?
he has
I'm
an
looking,
extensive
because it's a lot of
history.
stuff in here, so it's a lot I gotta look through, because
you do.
he has a lot of stuff in here.
I can bring it tomorrow for you, Judge.
All right, I'll tell you what, so I don't keep everyone else holding. Can you bring that, are you able to come? Are you able to email, sir?
No, ma'am.
All right. Can you bring that paperwork down here next, what day are we here, Aisha? Tuesday?
Wait, I'm looking at this case that he had with Judge Edie. It was similar charges, so he pled guilty to it. Is that the one? Well, I can simply find out from JCS as well to see what he has done.
All
But
right.
if you want him to come back down, that's fine too.
Yeah, I'll come down, I'll bring it to you.
What date? I don't have that calendar up.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Can you be back here Tuesday at 10 o'clock with your paperwork, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I sure can.
Okay, and then we can get a copy of that and get to Mr. Walker and sort of straighten this out and see what the, so let's just set reset for, that is the, is that the 30th? No.
We could do, we have P&A on the 30th and the 31st. I mean, I'm not sure if my position will change, but
Because
Right,
I
but
see the anger management, I'm sorry, he took was for Judge Edie's case that he pled to in 2019. So I don't know if Mr. Walker is gonna, I don't know.
right,
So
like I
this
said,
is a subsequent charge, so I do
Yeah.
understand Mr. Walker feeling, but let me just say, I wouldn't take a plea for more anger management. I mean, that's not going to do anything. It didn't, like, as Mr. Eagle said, it didn't work the first time. I don't know why we would,
Well, Jill, you know,
he's not
in
offering
the
that.
spirit of resolving cases and the spirit of COVID, I try to reserve jail recommendations for the most severe cases. But if
I
the court
understand.
if the court thinks that jail time is appropriate, there's absolutely no, objection from the state. And perhaps it is because, like I said, the defendant has quite an extensive history, and he doesn't seem like he's ready to take accountability today. So, state would not object to any jail time that the court.
All right, just a minute.
Considered.
And I have a question.
all
There was a motion to revoke bond filed on this case, Mr. Walker, by Mr. Braxton, and we had Mr. Coleman appointed to the case, but he withdrew. So I'm trying to figure out what are we doing with all of that.
We could schedule that as well. We have contact with the victims, and the state is ready to go forward with any motion. So, I mean, if the court provides a date, the state will be present and ready to.
All right.
proceed.
So we now have your paperwork, sir, so we don't need it. But what I'm going to do is you're going to be reset for a motion to revoke the bond, and I don't know when that'll be. So you'll be noticed of a new court date, sir.
Yeah, hey, good. I filed another motion on the 25th, or a motion to dismiss these charges. And I was wondering if.
Okay, well, I can hear that on the same date.
You know, same.
Yes, sir. So you'll get a motion about a notice to revoke bond, and I'll also entertain your motion to dismiss the case.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, you're free to go at this time. Stay in touch with us.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you need to, at the next court date, it would be better for you to come in live like you did today, okay?
When you say that was,
We don't know yet. You'll get a notice.
I'll get a note. Okay. Yes,
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. All right, Christopher Murphy.
Back, Your Honor.
Oh.
With Mr. Green.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. He's maintaining that he does not want to take that offer for the disorderly conduct ordinance violation. So this could just please be reset to a trial calendar so that this can finally be resolved.
That's what we'll do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Green. You're free to go.
Someone wanted to go speak to.
I think that was Attorney Boykin pertaining to Mario Walker.
Was that right, Ms. Boykin? You wanted to
Yes,
speak
Your
with
Honor,
the
that's correct.
prosecutor?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
All right, I'm going to send you with your client or just you?
Just me, Your Honor.
Okay, your client is having you. So it'll be breakout room 1. You'll get an invite in just a minute.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And then come back in here when you're finished. Let's see, I wrote plea. She's now in breakout room 1. All right, the next case is Christopher Murphy. Ms. Moses Counts, that's your case?
Yes, Your Honor. If you recall, Mr. Murphy is on the call with his mother. If you recall, his mother, myself, and Mr. Murphy spoke with you in your chambers in regards to this case, and I had to get my supervisor involved again with the promise that Ms. Challenger assured my client and his mother, who was his caretaker at the time, that he entered into a mental health and drug rehabilitation program with the VA hospital. He completed that program, and upon completion and proof of that, she was supposed to dismiss this charge. Before he completed it, she was removed from our courtroom, and now she's texted me after the fact saying that now she doesn't recall. She vaguely remembers that promise. So that was when I had to involve you and my supervisor. So at this point, Mr. Strobel is new. He doesn't know the details of this agreement, but you've already spoken to his mother about what her understanding was because she had to enter him into this program. So if you would like her to again to speak to this, I'm not sure what else to do because.
When was he in it on the calendar? What date was he on the calendar that agreement was supposedly made?
Can you, Ms. Hardy, what was his, it was the very first day of his plea and arraignment.
It was the very first day?
The very first
Let me
day.
check.
She came prepared with the information to let us know that he was about to enter into this program. Her concern was she didn't want her son to get a bench warrant because he was about to go into this program. She already got him approved to go into this program, and she didn't want him to get bench warrants if there were other court
Right,
dates.
okay, Ms. Hardy, do you have the date?
Well, the plea and arraignment date was September 4th, 2019. It was reset to a final plea calendar for December 9th, 2019.
Right, it was reset to final plea for him to provide the proof that he completed the program.
All right, so let's come back to this. I'm gonna send an email to, or I'll tell you what, Aisha, can you email Deb and tell her to either go to your calendars or to pull this file?
Now, the only problem with that, when they have discussions, I'm not privy to those discussions. So the only thing I would have done was reset it.
But you might have?
Okay.
You might have? You don't think so?
No, because if it's a big calendar, they just have their discussions and they tell me they're going to reset it to another calendar. So I was hoping that Ms. Moses may have had it in her notes on her file. Because generally,
I have it in my notes.
But
the issue is my voice doesn't matter. If the solicitor says
I understand. All right. Aisha, could you just ask Deb to pull the file and bring it to me, and I'll just take a look at the jacket. It may or may not be helpful. Okay? Because if I spoke with them also, it could be that I put notes in there. All right, we'll come back
now
to that.
That date, can you say what that date was, Ms. Hardy? Because I don't have Ms. Murphy, do you recall? Can you come off mute?
Yeah. Are you saying the date when the agreement was initially?
No, the date when we went back and spoke to Judge Bessen. Do you recall that?
It was actually a year ago.
That doesn't matter. It's either I put notes in the file or I didn't. So either there or not. So she's going to pull the file. That's okay. We'll come back to you. The next case is Daquan Jones, position 9.
Can I make a statement? They would know the date that the arrangement was made because at that time we were all in court and the VA faxed over the information that day regarding the program, how long it was going to be, and that my son would be in-house. All of that was faxed to the prosecutor that day when that agreement was made. So I'm hoping that was.
And how long was the program?
He was in for 9 months, inpatient.
So that really, I guess I'm asking, you would think that would be sufficient for the state. I don't know, Mr. Strobel, if there's someone else you need to check with, but.
No, Your Honor, my biggest concern, I'd have to actually see that. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying I don't have the copy in front of me. He also has another case, it appears, in 19 CR 006302J with an attorney listed as a Shannon Render.
He was on it previously.
Yeah. And I got, in 19 CR 009946. He's got another case there, I believe, Your Honor. That's what I was trying to figure out because he had multiple.
Right, but that case that you're mentioning involved is the alleged victim is his mother who's sitting right there, and she did not call for him to be arrested. She called for him to get mental health aid because he was having a mental health issue. It was a mental health matter, which is why she got him into this program for mental health and for drug rehabilitation.
All right.
And that case has recently been transferred to us, I see.
Yeah. So those charges were.
You're in the process.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking also on what's here.
I have it. The charges were battery, family violence, 2 counts, and Judge Dixon transferred it to us.
Okay, so that was 12. Oh, she's got the file for me. So I'll at least see if there's anything on here. Thank you. Oh no, this is pretty empty. No, I hate it when you're right, Aisha.
I know, I'm sorry.
There is absolutely nothing. I'm looking at the front of the file and you can see it's just waive jury. All right, so that, all All right, so this is a mess. Let's just say that. I'm going to have to reset this for another status.
Okay, and I'll put the other case on as well.
I'm going to write on the front of his file. I'm sorry to say. Today is 3/25th. Thank you.
So at this point, Mr. Strobel, what needs to be done for you to consider dismissing this charge? Because he's not going to take a plea and he doesn't want a trial.
Okay, but he does have another outstanding case, so that's part of the problem.
He does, and so, but I'm not the attorney over that case yet. I didn't even know about it prior to this. So, being in this courtroom, that is.
And
So
he does not have counsel on that case.
So, and that's fine. I have no problem representing him. But my point is, he did 9 months inpatient. What could this charge?
Okay, I don't think he can answer that today, is what I'm gathering. Is that right, Mr. Strobel?
Yeah, sure. I have some ideas, but it has to be ran by people above me. So that's pretty much, and I'll have to get the verification. Once again, it's not in the files. I can get another copy of the verification of inpatient treatment. I'll gladly send you this conversation in writing afterwards. This is what we're discussing. So if future things occur.
Right. So, Miss, if you could just send me again, because our emails archive the proof of him completing the program, and I will once again send it to Mr. Strobel for him to review, to take to his superior, so that we could hopefully move this case forward.
And when was he actually inpatient? For what period of time?
I'll go back and find the notification, and I'll be able to send it over to Mrs. Moses.
Do you recall what months when he was inpatient?
I know it was, I think, from November until the next June or July.
Of what year?
2019 to 2020, because he got out right before they were shutting down COVID.
So that would have been the period of time, it would have been after these other charges. Yes. He did the inpatient after this other charge. So I think there may have to be discussions about a global resolution. And I don't think anyone's in a position to do that now. So I'm going to have to reset this for another status hearing, and hopefully all that documentation can be sent to Mr. Strobel, the prosecutor, and to Ms. Moses Counts. Maybe by that time she will actually be appointed counsel on this new charge, and maybe something can be worked out on both charges. Okay.
Say one thing, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Understand that, and that we'll have to appear again. When we appeared last year, we were told that we would be seen in that same week, and now it's been almost a year later.
Well, because we had the judicial emergency because of COVID.
Absolutely, we fully understand it. Believe me, we did. Having suffered from it myself, it was horrifying.
Oh, wow.
But as Attorney Moses has said, we are in the process of getting those other charges dropped. My son did suffer severely from mental, medical, and physical challenges, and they were severe. So he was not only there for the anger management and the drug rehab, but he also had major medical challenges that we are still facing to this day. And to me, this is a prime example of when law enforcement should not come out unless notified by a medical institution that they are needed. Because if someone go back and listen to the call, when I called about my son, I said he's either had a mental breakdown, there's something wrong, someone attacked him, or he's had some kind of bad drugs. Never did I say he broke the law. And as his mother, I was reading the police report, and it was horrifying to me what was in that report, because it's not what happened. And
so there's no doubt that the society is ill-equipped to deal with people who have generally mental health events. I totally agree with you. Society is sort of at least we now recognize that. 5 years ago, I don't think we even recognized that. So I'm sensitive to what you're saying. But I think if the treatment he's gotten, you can get that information, Ms. Moses Counts, and she'll get that to Mr. Strobel, and there can be discussions about whatever I would suggest to you, if he's continuing to have some ongoing treatment, that also be that they be made aware of that so that they can recognize these are mental health issues. It doesn't mean that a mental health event doesn't also break the law, but they'll be able to evaluate that, look at both of his cases, and perhaps, I mean, you seem like a obviously caring mother who's trying to do the best for her child, and that's obviously commendable, but we do have to deal with the underlying criminal events, and hopefully because of the treatment he's gotten and maybe continuing to receive, that can be something that he can, maybe enter a plea and be monitored for a period of time, and so that he's still getting needed treatment. So I think that's where this will probably be headed. Your next court date will probably be within 6 to 8 weeks, so it will not be a year. We'll put you on another status calendar so I can get a report both from the prosecutor and your attorney to see if something can't be worked out. Again, we use this term globally, meaning to handle any open cases, and that's what I would like to see happen. Particularly for someone, as you say, that has acknowledged that there's a problem on their own, sought treatment, and is perhaps continuing to seek treatment and be medicated and so forth. And so I think that's the goal, right? The goal is to find out what's wrong and to help get someone cured to where they can cope. And so if that's what's being done, I think the solicitor's office will look upon that favorably, but they need to know what he's done and what he's going to be continuing to do. So we'll set this down. It'll be 6 to 8 weeks on another status. Get that information to Ms. Moses Counts, and hopefully something can be worked out. Okay?
Your Honor, and please stay safe.
Thank you. You too. Glad you're healthy.
And thank you.
The next case is Daquan Jones, also Ms. Moses Counts.
Yes, Your Honor. This was reset because I was trying to figure out a way to get the video that Mr. Jones has on his cell phone that showed the entire incident. I was trying to get that to Mr. Strobel, but every time Mr. Jones emails it to me, you can only hear the sound of the event and not see the actual video. I've witnessed the video in court when he first came, so I do know that I can match the sound with what I saw, but I need to be able to get the actual video to Mr. Strobel. So I think it's best for this to be reset to a trial calendar where we're maybe.
I'm fine with that. That
present.
sounds good.
I'm not sure of a better way so that Mr. Strobel can see the video, and hopefully from there maybe it could be resolved.
And yeah, it might be that we're in, but that's fine. We'll put on a trial calendar. Let me go back to position 6. I see Ms. Boykin is back. Were you able to have a discussion with Mr. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor, and I've also emailed the forms to Mr. Walker and Ms. Hardy. If they can confirm that they've received and they're sufficient, we're ready to go.
I sent it to Judge Bessen.
You did. Let me take a look. And what happened to, I guess,
I can't.
Mr. Tiku is also working on his forms.
Yeah, I just sent it. I don't know if they've received it yet.
Okay.
We're ready to go.
All right, then I'll take you after this. Let me, oh yeah, this looks good. All right, so let's do the Walker case first.
Okay.
Is Mr. Jones free to go, Your Honor?
Can Murphy go? Murphy?
Mr. Jones,
Oh, yes,
please?
I'm sorry. Yes, you can. I'm sorry, ma'am. Yes, thank you. Have a good day.
And Mr. Jones as well?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
Yes,
Jones.
thank you, Mr. Jones. We'll see you on a trial calendar.
All right, thank you.
All right, this is the case of Mario Walker, case number 19CR010321J. He's represented by Ashley, A-S-H-L-E-E, Boykin, B-O-Y-K-I-N.
Coffee at 3:00 this morning.
Mute that device. All right. Let's see. So your client is he on the phone?
Yeah, Your Honor, that was his device that just clicked in.
Oh,
it says Glory Miles.
I see it. Yes.
Name.
Let me ask him to unmute. Mr. Miles, if you can unmute your device, I'm sorry.
How you doing, ma'am? How
There
you doing,
you
Your Honor?
are. Good to see you. Can I get you to raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this case is the truth and the whole truth, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What is the understanding, Mr. Walker, of a negotiated plea?
Yes, Your Honor. After speaking with Counsel Boykin, the state has agreed to reduce the charge just to a regular battery charge. To the battery, the state's recommendation is 12 months to serve 180 days, credit for time served of 180 days, balance suspended.
Okay. Ms. Boykin, is that your understanding of the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Miles, Mr. Walker, I have some questions to ask you, sir, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you talked about this plea with your attorney?
I have.
Do you understand what you're entering a guilty plea to today? Charge of battery.
I do.
You understand that you have the right to have a trial. By entering this plea, you understand that you're giving up that right. Was that explained to you?
Yes, it was, Your Honor.
All right. And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily. Is that correct?
I am.
You've not been promised anything or threatened in any way in order to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Did you go over that plea paperwork that we just got emailed? Did you go over that with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you have any questions about any of the information on there?
I do not.
All right. And so this is basically a time served plea. There are no further requirements. Let me find out. Does Mr. Walker, did you have anything further?
There's nothing further from the state, Your Honor. It is a time served plea. The defendant did serve a significant amount of time in jail. The incident did occur in jail, and state is satisfied with the 180 days served.
Okay. Ms. Boykin, did you have anything further to add?
Nothing further, Your Honor. We just ask that you accept the plea as negotiated.
All right. Mr. Walker, I'm going to accept the plea. Do you have any questions of the court?
No, Your Honor.
All right. That concludes this matter. You're free to go, sir. Thank you.
And Your Honor, just for the record, we are not related.
Oh.
Hey, I was able to say that too.
We are not related. So there are no conflicts.
When Solicitor Walker called me, I thought it was a family member from my client. I was like, oh, yes.
None.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Walker.
You're
All
welcome.
right. Ms. Boykin, you're free to go. Thank you for your
Thank you,
patience.
Your
I'm
Honor.
glad we got that done.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day, guys.
You too. Let me go ahead and take the plea. I know Mr. Tiku is on the call with his client. I know she's sitting in there, and this is the case of Gina, Gina Mafam, MFAM. It's case number 19CR006705J. The charge was originally simple assault. It is now will be amended to disorderly conduct. A county, not a county, a county ordinance violation. Thank you. And my understanding is she is to do 2 days of anger management. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. And so, Ms. Mafam, I think you can see me. Can you raise your right hand, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this case is the truth and the whole truth, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Have you discussed this case with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand, you can put your hand down. You understand what you're entering a guilty plea to today?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that you had the right to have a trial. By entering this plea, you understand you're giving up that right. Was that explained to you?
Yes, ma'am.
And so I think technically this would be like a 6-month probation.
That is correct, Your Honor.
And she would have to do 2 days of anger management. If you complete the 2 days of anger management next week, then your probation would terminate. But while you're taking the class, you do need to be on probation until you complete it. Was that explained to you?
Yes, ma'am.
You're entering this plea freely and voluntarily. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You've not been promised anything or threatened in any way in order to enter this plea.
No, ma'am.
And I'm looking at a copy of your paperwork that you filled out this morning. Let's see. Did you go over that with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of that any of that information on that document?
No, ma'am.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor. After speaking with Attorney Tiku, I was advised that the defendant is a single mother, and due to her being a single mother, the state will be requesting that the court suspends the first month of probation fees. And I have also spoken to probation, and they have also advised that the court does have the authority to suspend the cost to the 2-day anger management, since the course is offered through CJS. So in addition to the suspension of the first month of probation fees, I would request that the court suspends the costs associated with the 2-day class.
All right, we will do that. We will suspend the class fees.
And
all right, Mr. Tiku, did you have anything further you needed to add?
No, Your Honor, I just ask that the court accept the plea as negotiated.
Great. So you'll be notified by probation, Ms. Mafam, and then you're to sign up, get the class taken. If it takes you longer than 1 month, you are going to have to pay a probation fee, okay? So try and get that completed as soon as possible, and then your probation will terminate. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if there's nothing further, we'll accept the plea, and thank you for your patience in getting this taken care of today. And you're free to go, Mr. Tiku and Ms. Mafam. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Judge.
Your Honor. Thank you, Attorney Tiku.
Thank you, Mr. Walker.
All right, let me find out back where I was. Slow going, but getting some things. Let's see, position 11, Angel Powell. Ms. Moses Counts.
Yes, Your Honor. I think Mr. Strobel is asking for this to be reset. I won't object based on new information about another case involving my client.
Yes, Your Honor. She is also a defendant in 21 CR 000-439J. I was trying to make a package offer or a global offer, but we need to do some contact on the new case.
And I obviously didn't know about, again, another case. I don't know a better way to inform us before these court dates. So I apologize that I'm not being made aware. I don't think that's Mr. Strobel's fault, of course, but nonetheless, I don't know anything about it. So I need to look at discovery and all that jazz.
And I'm just pulling this up, and it, you know, these things sort of creep up. I mean, you're right. We don't ever know. Let me just look real quick. So the new charge is simple battery.
Yeah, it should be 4 counts of simple battery on the new charge, Your Honor.
Yeah, 1219. I mean, so obviously we're going to have to reset this. And I don't know if they're going to make a motion in terms of revoking bond, but.
And Your Honor, given the fact that it occurred a year ago, if we were going to file one of those, we should have, and based upon, so we're not going to file a motion to revoke bond.
Okay. And I don't know what the 4 counts, well, we'll just reset this for another status, so we can at least give you time, at least 2 months out, Aisha, so they can exchange discovery. And is Miss Powell here on the call?
She is. She has the blind braids.
Yes, Miss Powell, good morning.
Good morning.
So Miss Moses Counts is representing you in the first case. Do we know, Jasmine, if you will automatically be appointed on this second case?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll go ahead and take the second case. I just need her updated phone number because the one I have doesn't work.
Okay. 678
Mm-hmm.
733
Mm-hmm.
688.
Say that again.
888.
I'm sorry. Say it one more time. Your phone broke up.
678 733 6888.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm just looking at some of these other charges, and I don't know. Because Shaw, it looks like all similar family members. Some of them have the same last name on the new charges. All right, Ms. Powell, let me just say, it's important, you're here on the call and that's good. It's important for you to stay in touch with us. So if you have a change of email, phone number, or address, you need to let Ms. Moses Counts know. Because if she didn't have the right contact information, and if you were to fail to appear, I would have to issue bench warrant for your arrest. So please stay in touch with Ms. Moses Counts. And if any of that information changes, you need to tell her, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions right now?
I didn't hear nothing because they kicked me out the Zoom, so I didn't hear nothing.
So we're gonna reset your case because the solicitor said that there's another case involving 4 other people, and he needs to look at that before he can move forward with this case. So we're gonna reset this to another status calendar to give him time.
Okay.
All right.
So it'll be at least 2 months from now because I want to give them time to get all the information and talk about it. Okay.
Okay. Well, I was trying to see, can I get her number because I'm in the process of moving. So I'm not going to be at the address, but everything else is going to be the same. Like my email and my number is going to be the same.
As long as you email, well, we do need an address change. If you could, Ms. Moses Counts, if you could text her.
I'm gonna chat her right now because we already were chatting before.
Okay, great. Let her know. She'll send you the contact information. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. You're free to go.
All right.
Don't leave yet. Let me send you this first.
Yeah, don't go. Let her send you what she needs to. The next case. Oh, Daryl has a case. Wake up, Daryl.
Good morning. I'm here.
James Spears.
Yeah, hold on.
Actually called me back on March 15th and left a message. I've called him maybe 6 times since then, leaving messages for him to call me back, and I had not heard anything back from him.
He's not on the call.
No, I don't see him on the call.
I've called him several times. He does not have internet access. He said he was given a phone by his sister. So I told him to come in person.
That's probably why. So he's, I guess, incommunicado at this time.
Yeah. I tried to call him after that, but he's not answering.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to issue a bench warrant, but Mr. Coleman or Miss Hardy, if we get in touch with him and can set a date for him to appear in court, obviously I'll withdraw the warrant. Okay.
Thank you.
The next case is.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but
yes,
we do have a case where the victim is present that's scheduled for a plea this morning. I believe the victim has been online all morning. Is there any
which position on the add-on?
Yeah, it's on the add-on is Mr. Caruth. I believe he's already submitted his paperwork, position 4. And
okay.
His name is Xavier Coleman. I did speak with him earlier.
I think that's fair. And if I have any other pleas, maybe I should go ahead and take them because those people are clearly here. So, Toriana Caruth, is Mr. Caruth on the call?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you speak again? Oh, there I see you. Okay. Good morning. I see you now. Thank you. And the victim is here?
His name is Xavier Coleman. I did speak with him earlier. I think I see him. It says iPhone.
Yes, sir. I see you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. So let me go ahead. This plea paperwork, I should have it.
Yes.
So I think it was faxed in.
But I emailed it.
I see it. Thank you. All right. This is the case of Toriana, Toroyana Caruth, Caruth.
Yes, ma'am.
Just a minute, sir. It's case number 19CR003801J. He is pro se. Could I have you raise your right hand, sir, where I can see it? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this case is the truth and the whole truth, sir?
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Walker, what is the negotiated plea?
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant will be entering a guilty plea to 1 count. I believe it's reckless conduct. All other charges will merge. The state's recommendation is a 12 months probated sentence with a condition of a $250 suspended fine. Also with a condition of payment to the victim in the amount of $505 in restitution. As the court is aware, this is a dog bite case. and the victim does have medical bills in the amount of $505. The state does have a medical bill that I can share with the court.
Well, you've seen it, so that's if you're
Yeah, I
indicating.
I can share my screen if the court would like to view the document.
That's okay, as long as you've seen it. I appreciate you being prepared to do that, but as long as you've seen the bill and that's your understanding of the damages, and Mr. Caruth is agreeing to terms of the plea, we're good with that. So Mr. Caruth, first of all, did you have any questions about us taking this plea virtually like this?
No, ma'am.
All right, and you've discussed this with Mr. Walker, the prosecutor, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand what you're entering a guilty plea to today, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand by entering this plea that you're giving up your right to have a trial in this case. Was that explained to you?
Yes, ma'am.
And I see you're also going forward pro se without the benefit of an attorney. Were you aware that if you were unable to afford an attorney, we would have considered appointing someone to represent you? Were you aware of that?
Yes, ma'am.
But you've decided instead to go forward on your own. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
The terms, as I understand it, is a $250 suspended fine, and I'm sure Mr. Walker suspended that so you can concentrate on paying the $505 restitution. And that'll be paid through probation. Is there any reason that after he pays this, his probation can terminate?
There is no reason, Your Honor, and I omitted to state that the state has no objection to suspending probation fees. The defendant has advised the court that he has struggled with housing security or stability. So due to that issue, the state would request that the court would suspend all probation fees for 12 months.
Okay, I will suspend the probation fees. So Mr. Caruth, you can concentrate on perhaps paying whatever is owed toward restitution, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You're entering this plea freely and voluntarily, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You've not been promised anything or threatened in any way in order to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
I know we do have the victim here on the call, and I don't have your name. What's the victim's name?
Xavier Coleman.
Xavier Coleman.
And he's sending me his address right now for purposes of restitution.
Right, we do need that for restitution. Mr. Coleman, did you have any comments that you wanted to make to the court at this time?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right, I'm hoping that Mr. Caruth, it seems, and I do recall him being on a previous Zoom call, and I know he's had some rough financial times right now, and hopefully he'll be able to get restitution paid to you. Mr. Caruth, did you have any questions about the plea you're entering?
No, ma'am.
All right. Anything further from the state? Mr. Walker?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
All right, we'll accept the plea then. Mr. Caruth, you're going to be contacted by probation. You'll sign up for probation. I have waived the fees as best as you can. Please try to get this restitution paid, and I hope your fortunes get better.
All right, ma'am.
I'm sorry, Mr. Caruth, you need to report by mail.
Okay.
I think he's out of state.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if he has an address, though.
He has email.
Mm-hmm.
I can get it through the email, Your Honor.
You'll have to deal with that with probation. I'm not going to even get into that, but thank you, Aisha. He's out of state. So, all right. If there's nothing further, Mr. Caruth, you're free to go. Mr. Coleman, thank you for being for your patience today, and you're also free to go, sir.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Coleman. And Aisha, I just sent you the address for Mr. Coleman.
All right,
Okay,
let me
got it.
just ask, are there any other pleas that we've got listed some, or any of them? Let me find out. Macy Berry.
That's my case, Your Honor, and I'll be submitting a null pros on that matter this morning.
All right, is
Hello.
I'm just
Miss Berry, good morning. You've been patient. I
morning.
know you've been on a long time.
Yes, okay though. I understand.
See, you got a good result. He's going to not prosecute your case. when we get that order signed, Miss Hardy will email you a copy, okay?
Okay, so I have a question. With the license being suspended, where do I go and get them reinstated? It's my first time. I don't know where
I
to.
think she'll have to get the disposition from the clerk's office, and then she
No.
can present that to.
Her license is not suspended with us. Is this Miss Pierre?
No, this is Macy
Miss
Beard.
Berry, position
Oh, I'm
one.
sorry.
Add-on.
You'd have to go to
Am I free to go?
DDS.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to go to driver services once you get a copy that this case has been resolved. Is that right, Miss Hardy?
Yes, but we didn't have her suspended, but maybe they did because of the charge, but she can just give them a copy of the dismissal. And I've seen on DDS online, because I just recently got an ID because I wasn't able to get my license. It's saying that there's a $90 fee and it's in red. Is that because I missed my court date?
You have to pay the Department of Driver Services. That's probably a
Mhm.
reinstatement fee.
It is.
To the dismissal. The suspension. But if you go to the clerk's office and get a copy of the dismissal order, if you present that to DDS, you can get your license stated. But however, there is a fee associated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we'll send you a copy of the order.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll email it to her. Okay, if I have any other questions, I'll just call Miss Hardy.
I unfortunately for Miss Hardy, yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Can I be dismissed?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Keelone Sibley, that's position 2 on the add-on. Is
I
that?
believe that's going to be a plea as well, Your Honor.
Yes, I had sent it to your email.
And I forwarded to you and Miss Hardy this morning.
Well, let's go ahead and take that one. If you did, it should be here. I see it. Keelone Sibley. I have it. All right, Miss Sibley, am I able to see your face?
Sure.
There you are. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand for me where I can see it. Do you swear or affirm a testimony you're going to give in this case is the truth and the whole truth, ma'am?
Yes.
Thank you. This is the case of Keelone, K-E''Lone, Sibley, S-I-B-L-E-Y, case number 18CR005251J. Mr. Walker, it's a charge of following too closely. What is the recommendation?
The state's recommendation is $100 suspended fine, balance suspended, Your Honor.
Great resolution. Miss Sibley, you understand what you're entering a guilty plea to today?
Yes.
Did you have any questions about the plea you're entering?
No.
I do have your paperwork. Did you have any questions about any of the paperwork you filled out?
No, I hadn't.
Okay, this is
Mr.
a
Walker.
$100 fine. Mr. Walker has graciously agreed to suspend the fine, so you have nothing further to do or to pay. Okay?
Okay.
So thank you for waiting today. If you have no further questions, you're free to go, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. The next case, Malachi Pierre. Is this a plea?
It is a plea, Your Honor.
I see Mr. Pierre is there.
Miss
Good morning.
Pierre.
Oh, I
Yes.
apologize. I'm so sorry. I didn't,
No,
sometimes
you're
I just I looked at a name and I didn't know. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing fine. Is this, should I have plea paperwork on this?
I don't have it.
I believe. Okay, I thought I sent it to you, Miss Pierre. Just send it to me this.
Okay.
morning. But if you give me 1 second, I can forward it to the court and Miss Hardy.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
While you're doing that, I'm going to swear her in. Miss
thank you.
Pierre, if you'll raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this case is the truth and the whole truth?
Yes.
Thank you. This is the case of Malachi, M-A-L-A-I-K-A-H. Is that not correct?
It's Malika.
Malika, I'm sorry. Malika, if I'd known how to pronounce it, I would have said, oh, that's a female. Malika Pierre, P-I-E-R-R-E. It's case number 18CR008733J. Before we get started, were you aware that we were going to take the plea virtually like this?
Yes.
Did you have any questions about doing the plea this way?
No.
All right, Mr. Walker,
Yes. I just forwarded the
I got it.
documentation.
So what is whatever terms of a negotiated plea?
Ms. Pierre will be entering a NOLO plea. The state has amended the initial charge of battery family violence to just a normal battery charge. The
Okay.
state's recommendation is a 12 months probated sentence with the completion of an 8-week anger management course with no further violent contact with the victim, who is Miss Pierre. It's the defendant's sister. Miss Pierre, can you advise the court of your sister's name?
Soraya Pierre.
Could you spell that for us?
Sorayah.
Okay, thank you.
And there's no objection to suspension of the fees for the first 2 months of probation.
And can probation terminate upon completion?
There's no objection.
Thank you. All right, Miss Pierre, you understand what you're entering a NOLO plea to today?
Yes.
You understand you had the right to have a trial. By entering this plea, you understand you're giving up those rights. Was that explained to you?
Yes.
You're entering this plea freely and voluntarily. Is that correct?
Yes.
And I'm looking away at your plea statement on my laptop. Did you have any questions about the forms you filled out to enter this plea?
No.
You're entering this plea freely and voluntarily. Is that correct?
Yes.
You've not been promised anything. Let me see. You've not been promised anything or, God, my brain just went blank. You've not been promised anything or threatened in any way in order to enter this plea?
No.
All right, so you've got 12 months to complete this 8-week anger management. We are going to waive the probation fees for 2 months. So try and get the class done within the 2 months. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay probation fees. The sooner you get this classes finished, the sooner your probation will terminate. Do you have any questions about the plea you're entering?
No. Are they going to call me with the information?
I'm sending you the form now so I can send it to them so they can contact you.
Okay.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Walker?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything, questions or any concerns, Ms. Pierre?
No, ma'am.
All right, we'll accept the plea then. Thank you for your patience. You're free to go. When probation calls you, please stay in touch with them. And then once that's finished, that'll conclude your case.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. The last plea potentially is Ashley Caninero.
Yes, Your Honor. I got the plea paperwork this morning and I emailed it to Ms. Hardy. I don't know if she's seen it.
I see Ashley C is on the call. There she is. Good morning.
Judge, you should have the paperwork. It's probably emailed.
Right. Looking through right now. I know I got a lot of, no, that's not it.
Let me go back.
Rodriguez. Hold on. Let me just go to your name and I'm sure that's how I'll find it.
It's go from Deb.
Oh, it's from Deb?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't do that.
It was like an hour ago. I can send it again.
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's, there we go. You said it was this morning.
Yes, it was at 10:46.
Add-on plea, got it. Okay. So, where is, there she is. Okay, could you raise your right hand, please, Ms. Caniero? Do you swear or affirm? You need to unmute yourself. Thank you. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're to give in this case is the truth and the whole truth, ma'am?
Yes.
before, this is case number 19CR005628J, Ashley Caniniero, Canionero. It's a charge of theft by shoplifting. I understand this is a negotiated plea, Mr. Strobel?
Yes, Your Honor. The conditions are 12 months non-report probation, stay away from the Howell Mill Walmart. She is on felony probation for other charges. She got around this time. Apparently she was making some bad decisions. Like she's kind of got herself on a better track, Your Honor, so we don't feel the need for another report probation.
Okay, so it's a non-report probation, so she'll just have to sign up, probably appear once, and after that, you'll be on probation, but you will not have to report and won't have to pay probation fees.
Okay.
So you understand what you're entering a guilty plea to today, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand you had the right to have a trial. By entering this plea, you understand you're giving up that right. Was it explained to you?
Yes, ma'am.
You're entering this plea freely and voluntarily. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And you've not been promised anything or threatened in any way in order to enter this plea?
Correct.
And the condition really is to stay away from the Howell Mill Walmart. If you walk into there, they probably have your picture up in the office and they will know. So you will be charged, but again, you'll be charged with a trespassing at a minimum. So please do your shopping somewhere else.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about the plea you're entering today?
No, Your Honor.
So probation will contact you, get signed up. They'll probably have you report just once. And then after that, you'll be on probation, but you won't have to report again. Do you have any questions about the plea you're entering?
No, ma'am.
Anything further, Mr. Strobel?
No, Your Honor.
All right, that concludes the plea then. You are free to go, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, there is one other plea today at least. It's I think it's Miss Kennedy. She was actually the next one on the
She's
calendar.
the next case. Yeah, I know she's been on all morning too. Miss Kennedy, let's see, Jennifer Kennedy. Let me find that paperwork. Just a minute, I'm looking for add-on plea. Let's see if this is it. No, that's Caneros. Now I find it from you, Aisha. Position 20, no, this is position 13. Was that sent from you, Aisha?
I'm going back. I'm resending it.
Okay, thank you. I don't know why I can't. It's position 13. Let me go to my inbox. I guess while I'm waiting on that, but we know we have it. Let me go ahead and get started. Miss Kennedy, good morning.
Good morning.
If I can have you raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're giving this case is the truth and the whole truth, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I got it. Thank you, Aisha. This is the matter of the state versus Jennifer Kennedy. Case number 19CR006688J. She is pro se. Mr. Strobel, what are the terms of the negotiated plea?
Your Honor, it is 12 months probation. She has to undergo complete an alcohol drug abuse evaluation and treatment and have no violent contact with a Mr. John Wingler. Once the conditions are met for the treatment, if necessary, the case can be non-report.
All right, that's no further contact with a
No violent contact.
No further violent contact.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't contact him anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, so that's with John Wingler, Wingler. and then non-reporting after completion. Okay, so Ms. Kennedy, you've discussed this with the prosecutor, Mr. Strobel?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand what you're entering a guilty plea to today?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you had the right to have a trial by entering this plea. You understand you're giving up that right. Was that explained to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so the terms of the plea are for you to do an alcohol evaluation and any possible treatment they may recommend. After you complete that, you'll still remain on probation, but let's just do probation for 6. Oh, go ahead.
I had kind of an odd question. I'm actually a residential assistant at a detox center. Would it be a conflict of interest if I got my evaluation done there? I've been sober for 2 years. That's why I have the job.
Your Honor, I don't have an objection, but I guess that'd be whatever probation's protocols are for that.
Okay.
I mean, I would assume a doctor would still be professional or their counselor would still be professional there.
Yeah, I mean, they have a whole staff of doctors and everything.
I think that would be fine. I mean, and I never sort of inquire about where people get their evaluations. But I'm glad to hear that congratulations for being sober for 2 years. That's an accomplishment. So get the evaluation, and then I guess we can terminate probation upon completion. I think, is that okay, Mr. Strobel?
That's fine, Your Honor.
It sounds like she's on a much better path, and so I don't know that she needs to remain on probation.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions about the plea you're entering, ma'am?
No, ma'am.
Anything further, Mr. Strobel?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right, then we will accept the plea. Get that evaluation completed. You'll be contacted by probation. Once that's done, the matter will terminate. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're free to go. Thank you for your patience. I know it's been a long morning. The next
thank you. Have a good day.
The next case is Kevin Romero Rodriguez, position 16. Have we heard from him?
Your Honor,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I believe his attorneys at a recent surgery said he was driving back in Florida today. He has discovery and everything.
Who's his attorney?
David Schnipper.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we're going to have to reset this.
I was going to put it on April because he had a previous attorney that withdrew, and I'm trying to kind of get the case moving. And I let Mr. Shipper know I'm trying to kind of get it moving.
Okay, so we'll put it on in April. We'll just reset it for a status in April. Thank you.
Okay.
Position 21, I saw Mr. Robinson has been on all morning. Joseph Robinson, good morning, sir.
Mr. Robinson, he's muted now.
I know, I'm asking him to unmute. Mr. Robinson, can you hear us, sir? All right, let's come back to him in a minute. Maybe Daryl, you can text him if you have that information.
I sent him a chat. We've been chatting, so let me see if he responds to that.
When you have a moment, I would like to have a breakout room with Attorney Coleman, if possible.
Oh, with or without Mr. Robinson?
Oh, it's completely up to him.
Daryl?
Yeah, I'll have a breakout with Mr. Walker. That's fine.
All right, so he's been in breakout room 1. So Daryl, I'm going to send you to breakout room 1. If you could just rejoin that room, Mr. Walker, and I'll come back to you folks shortly.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. The next case is Miss Rockwell's Tremaine Battle. Have we heard from her, Miss Hardy?
I have been emailing her back and forth all morning. She's on another Zoom call. She just asked me, is Mr. Battle on the call?
No. Well, let me not say that.
I told her I wasn't sure.
He couldn't be the phone number. Is Mr. Tremaine Battle on the call? No.
Okay.
So let's reset this for, let's reset this for April, but I need to know if she has had contact with him. That sort of sounds like she has not. But if you can
Okay.
verify with her, I'll give her one reset simply because she contacted you. He is represented, but if he's not on the next call in April, then I will be inclined to issue a bench warrant.
Okay, I'm telling her now.
Position 26, Kahari Yarber. We have counsel on that. Crail Lewis. What's the status of that?
I'm not sure. I remember I had a hard time contacting Mr. Yarber. And I remember on a previous calendar, Attorney Lewis was saying he was trying to contact him. He asked for a reset on that.
So
I'm
let's
not
come back
sure.
to that because that's Mr. Walker's case and maybe
Mhm.
he knows something we don't.
Okay. Okay.
The next case, Horton, is Daryl's case, so we'll have to wait on that.
No, that was already previously null pros.
Oh, okay, thank you. Position 28, Jacoby Hudson. It's Atasha Jefferson.
I sent him the link. I have not heard from Mr. Hudson, which is kind of odd.
Oh, come on. That's true. We don't always have him here, but you do hear from him.
Yeah.
And so, and Miss Jefferson is not on the call?
I don't have an email for her. I just sent it to Mr. Hudson.
And so can you email them and find out what's going on? Tell him he's supposed to be on this call.
Yes, I'm emailing him and Miss
Mark Hold. We need him to report if he can. The next case is Andy Beasley, although this is also Mr. Walker's case. Is Mr. Beasley on the call? Yes, I see Mr.
Yes.
Beasley. Mr. Beasley, good morning, sir. Mr. Beasley, do you hear me, sir? There he is. Mr. Beasley, good morning. Can you hear us, Mr. Beasley? Mr. Beasley, could you unmute your device, please? So he's unmuted and we still can't hear him. Do you hear us, Mr. Beasley? If you'll shake your head, yes or no, if you can hear me. You hear me, but we cannot hear you.
You may need to log off and come back on.
That's a good suggestion. Could you log off and come back on the call so we can hear you, sir? Has anyone chatted with him?
I will.
All right, see if you can do that. Otherwise, I'll write a note. We will come back to him. Let's see, couldn't hear. Mr. Beasley, do you hear me now? You're gonna need to log off and come back on. I think those are our last few cases. So let me wait till we get Mr. Walker back. I know he's speaking with Mr. Coleman. Let's see, document. All right, let me wait for Mr. Walker and Mr. Coleman. I don't think he sees that. Let me.
I sent it. I don't know if you saw it. I think he did log on.
Oh, he's still there.
Oh.
Let's see if this works. Mr. Beasley, I don't know if you can see that, sir. If you would please log off and log back on. Mr. Beasley, can you hear me, sir? don't know if you can see that. You may have to come into court. I see Mr. Walker and Mr. Coleman are back.
We are, Your Honor. I need to go into a breakout session with Mr. Robinson. Again, it looks like he's still muted. Let me send him a chat to see if he can receive it and unmute.
Oh, there he is. Mr. Robinson, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, ma'am. One moment,
There
let
we
me.
go. Oh, no, that's Mr. Beasley now. Mr. Beasley?
I'm Mr. Robinson.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I think Mr. Beasley is also with us. So, Mr. Robinson, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. Judge, Your Honor.
I'm going to send you an invite to go into a private chat room with your attorney, Mr. Coleman. Click on that invite. It will say join. He's going to have a private conversation with you. And then when you're finished, come back into this main room. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm going to, it'll be breakout room 1.
Okay.
So Daryl, you'll have to,
Yeah, I'm going to go back there.
Great. All right, Daryl's there and Mr. Robinson, if you could join that room, please. There you go. And I think Mr. Beasley, maybe he logged off and there he is trying to come back on. All right, Mr. Beasley, can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
There we go. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Are you aware of the charges against you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and so Mr. Walker, I don't know if you've spoken to Mr. Beasley and conveyed an offer.
I have not had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Beasley, but I will not waste the court's time. The state's recommendation is significant jail time. I'm inclined to believe that Mr. Beasley is not prepared to take a plea to 180 days to serve today. So if Mr. Beasley would like to, perhaps he could speak to the public defender.
Are you able to hire an attorney, Mr. Beasley?
No, ma'am.
All right, was he ever appointed counsel before? That would be Mr. Coleman's not here.
Perhaps at first appearance, but I do not believe he has since been appointed.
He
Okay.
hasn't.
All right, if you could stay with us, Mr. Beasley, we are going to have you have a conversation with a public defender to see if you qualify to have him represent you. Because it sounds like your case, your only alternative may be to have a trial on this case. And I would want you to be represented if that's the case.
Okay.
Let me see, I'm trying to pull up your case number.
It is.
Oh, no, I have it. I keep punching it in and probably making mistakes. There it is. And we do need to wait for Mr. Coleman to come back. So this is the 20 CR, there's a 17, so and a 14. So I guess because of your history, Mr. Beasley, the state is going to be asking for some jail time. So if you could just wait till we get Mr. Coleman back and then I'll let you speak with him, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think that those are our last 2 cases. Oh, Jacoby Hudson, look at that. Mr. Hudson, good morning. Mr. Hudson.
I think he's driving.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
driving.
I pulled over, Judge. I was
I
just leaving
know.
Judge Barwood courtroom.
I know. How are you?
I'm good. And Miss Hardy did send me the link a while ago.
So I didn't know let me get Mr. Robinson back in here. This is a Tasha Jefferson's case. Did you have you, well, I'm trying to get a status report on that.
Your Honor, I've received discovery a long time ago when we dealt with her DUI case and her other case. So, Judge, we just want to remain on the trial calendar when we called in for trial. We're now still ready for trial.
Ready for trial. That's what we'll do. Just so you know, I mean, everyone's kind of gearing back up. I'm expecting this summer we're going to be back to having jury trials. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. And Judge, I want to tell Ms. Hardy thank you because I didn't want to be in contempt of court. She just sent me a text.
We wouldn't do that to you.
Thank you. Y'all know me, Judge. Y'all know to find me. Thank you.
I know.
I'm on my way to the jail now. All right.
Okay. Have a good day. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Aisha.
All right. So is Mr. Coleman back? Yes. Daryl, good morning.
Yes, I'm back, Your Honor.
Okay. So
yes,
you were speaking
I spoke to Mr.
Robinson.
Robinson, yes.
Yes.
An offer was relayed to me by Mr. Walker. I did relay that offer to Mr. Robinson. He is rejecting it at this time, so we would just continue this matter for trial.
And what was the offer?
The offer was for 24 months probation with possible restitution.
And there was an expiration date of April the 15th.
That's correct.
And
how much is the restitution?
There may not be any restitution owed at this point. The allegations were that Mr. Robinson was in possession of a $600 check. I don't believe that check was ever negotiated to a bank.
That is correct. And there was one other item. I'm not sure if it was a check card, but there was 2 items of personal possession that was taken. I did provide counsel with the expiration date to the offer of April the 15th. And I also advised counsel that, I would like to resolve the case here in state court, but there perhaps is a factual basis that would support a felony charge. So it's the state's desire and hope to resolve the case within state court.
Then again, I did convey that to Mr. Robinson as well. I don't know if he necessarily wants to take time, but I did want to let Mr. Robinson know that he does have until April 15th to consider accepting the offer that's made by the state. But again, if you do not, you understand that the state is going to transfer this case to the DA's office.
And let me just say, what is the, so it was 12 months probation with possible restitution?
It was 24 months, Your Honor.
24 months, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there are 2 charges, loitering and prowling and theft of lost and mislaid property, 12 months probation on each.
I won't go into the defendant's particular history, but there is.
Well, I did take a little glance, and so I understand why
the basis for the 24 months, Your Honor.
Right. Yeah. So that's whatever it is. He has a history, and so I guess that is the basis for the recommendation. So, Mr. Robinson, at this time, I guess you're rejecting the offer. You want to go forward with trial. I would suggest you stay in touch with Mr. Coleman. If you have any change of email, phone number, or address, you need to let him know. Because as you've heard, you've been on the call a long time today, and you know that when I can't reach someone, I have to issue a bench warrant. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then you and Mr. Coleman keep talking. Maybe a counter offer can be presented to Mr. Walker that everyone can live with. If not, we'll set it down for trial. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything further?
Thank you.
Nothing.
All right, you're free to go, sir. Thank you, Mr. Robinson.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson.
All right, Mr. Coleman, there's one position who might need your services. Oh, what did I do with him?
Mr. Beasley, maybe?
Position 29.
Thank you. I'd lost track here. Position 29, Mr. Beasley, the offer was for significant jail time and because of his history, and I think he's going to need counsel. Can I put you in a breakout room with him to see if he qualifies?
Yes.
That's position 29. Mr. Beasley, I'm going to send you an invite to join a breakout room with Mr. Coleman. It'll be breakout room 1. If you will click on that and then come back here after you've spoken with him, okay? Let's hope he got that.
Mr. Walker,
Yes, ma'am.
did you hear from Attorney Carell Lewis on position 26?
Mr. Beasley, did you
Oh,
see
I
an
did.
invite? Let me text him.
Oh, sorry.
Just give me 1 second, Miss Hardy.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Mr. Beasley, can you hear me, sir? Oh, he's trying to get back in. That's what's happening. Mr. Beasley, hello. Mr. Beasley, I'm going to send you a link that's going to send you to breakout room 1. If you'll go there and speak to your attorney, and then you'll come back in here, okay?
Okay, I see where.
It says join. Will you click on that, please?
Can you hear me, man?
Yes. Do you see an invite that says join?
Yes.
Could you click on that and it'll take you to a private room to talk with an attorney?
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, there he goes. Thank you. Well, I know this took a long time, but we got oh, Daryl, go back. He's there now.
Okay, yeah, I think he just showed up when I came out.
Oh, I hope he stays. Go, go, go.
I was asking Mr. Walker about position 26.
So
yes, that was the only other one. Has anyone heard from Attorney Lewis?
So I did reach out to Attorney Lewis's law firm. I spoke to his paralegal. I advised that we had court today. She did advise me that he was going to be on medical leave, I think, throughout the 1st or 2nd week of April. I did advise her that I did not see any notices of medical leave or anything filed with the court. And she just stated that she didn't have anything further to provide with me at this time. That he's medically unable to appear according to his paralegal.
This is the attorney.
Yes, the attorney.
So let's just reset this for May, Aisha.
Okay.
I think a status, I'm sure the recommendation because of carrying concealed weapon, I'm sure it's a case we're probably going to have to try unless it's a non-negotiated plea. So I just put it back on a status in May.
Okay.
And then when Daryl comes back, we can go through the calendar.
Okay.
I'm happy to say we actually resolved a number of cases today. Good work, team.
I tried, Judge. I really
You did. I know.
We really tried.
I know. And so we're gonna have plenty, you're gonna have plenty of cases to try. So that's why anything we can dispose of. Oh, Renee, please hold for my report. Well,
I told her that's okay. We already emailed.
you did. Okay. Oh, this was at 10 o'clock. That was earlier. Okay. No tour. Okay, we'll wait for Daryl to come back and then we'll go through the calendar and see what's next. Whose puppy is that?
That's mine. They do that when the sirens go by. So that's.
Where do you live?
I live in Kennesaw, right next to the major, right next to 41. So the ambulances go up all on down, and the dogs always let us know when they're coming.
Is it I live right around the corner from the 11th. Well, let me just say, I shouldn't say where, but from a fire station. And so, yeah, we're constantly hearing sirens. So how frightening yesterday, they caught that guy at the supermarket with all those weapons. That could have been horrible. Another
Yes, I saw a picture of
disaster.
all the weapons this morning, and it was troubling.
Oh, I didn't hear about that, Judge.
I didn't hear about that either.
Happen? Where did this happen?
Atlantic Station at the Publix.
Oh, wow.
Like 2 assault rifles and like 4 pistols and body armor and
what?
And he went into the bathroom and someone saw him walk in and was alarmed and called they called the police. When he came out of the bathroom and he had all the stuff hidden on him, they stopped him. It could have been really horrible. I can't believe I'm going to have to start like carrying a weapon into Whole Foods.
yeah. I think we live in the same neighborhood, Your Honor, and there was at least 2 shootings on my street yesterday.
Yes, we're close by, and yes, I'm on that Citizen app. I don't know
too.
why, but
I am too. I think I might delete it because it's kind of
it's constant. In Midtown, it's constant.
It is.
Okay, Your Honor, we're back.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, I did speak to Mr. Beasley. He does qualify. I will file an appearance and motion for discovery on his behalf. At this time, we would just reset for trial.
Okay. So Mr. Beasley, Mr. Coleman is going to be your attorney. Please stay in touch with him. If you have any change of email, phone number, or address, you've heard me say that today a lot, I'm sure.
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
important for you to stay in touch with him. This is 2019 case, so it'll probably be on a calendar toward the end of this year, trial calendar. Okay, sir?
Okay, I'm trying to write this down on this. Yeah. Okay. And you say Mr. Coleman?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Coleman, can I please have your phone number?
I will email that to you after we finish the conference today, sir.
Okay, all right.
All right, thank you.
If you have a problem, I hate to say this, Miss Hardy, but you do have Miss Hardy's email. She's my litigation manager. She's the one that coordinated your being here today. If you don't hear from Mr. Coleman, although I bet you will.
Yeah, I'm going to email him once we finish the conference today.
Usually, once court's over, the public defenders go through and contact everyone. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You're free to go, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So that concludes the calendar. Ms. Greenhouse, you can head on out if you want. We're just going to call through the calendar. Okay?
And
Thank
Mr.
you.
Beasley, you're free to go.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yes, Mr. Beasley, you're free to go.
All right.
All right, position 1, trial calendar. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
They're considering the last offer, but right now it's trial calendar. Hopefully they'll negotiate something. It's a first, but we'll
They
see.
won't.
Position 2, no prost. Position 3, no prost. Position 4 did not appear. Larson Rogers, DDS. Position 5, bench warrant. And we think he's in Gwinnett County. Obviously, if Miss Moses counts, finds him, and I'll be happy to withdraw the bench warrant if that's where he's been. Position 6, jury. Position 7, trial calendar. Although there may have been an offer, I know everyone's going to try and speak with Miss Challenger and see what that offer might have been, because he has done counseling a significant amount. Murphy, another status calendar. Oh no, that's the one where he's completed the VA
That's the
program.
one where he had the inpatient one, yes. The other one,
That's-
all family members involved, yes.
Okay, thank you for, yes. Daquan Jones trial, position 10, no prost. Position 11, reset status. He's got a new case. She does, I'm sorry. Position 12, James Spears bench warrant. Position 13 was a plea. Position 14 was a plea. 15 will be a trial calendar.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. What did you say for 11?
Reset status, and she's got a new case, correct?
Okay, yes. Thank you. Sorry, I thought
Okay.
you said bench warrant.
Oh, no. Okay. Let's see, where was I? Position
15.
16 is reset for April. His attorney is wasn't able to be here. Hopefully we'll be able to do something with that. Position 17 will be a plea in April. Position 18 may qualify for PTI. We're going to put it on a final plea calendar, hopefully not see it again. Position 19, trial. Position 20, plea. Position 21, rejected the plea. Position, so I guess it's going on a trial calendar. Let me just say trial, that's yours, Daryl. Position 22, no pros. Position 23, reset April. Ms. Rockwell will hopefully be in touch with someone, although I'm not sure she knows where her client is. Position 24 and 25 are cross defendants. They don't want to prosecute. Prosecutor wants trial, so we're going to have a trial on those. Position 26, reset in May. Attorney has medical leave. Reset status, Aisha. Position 27, no pros. Position 28, trial. Position 29, trial. Position 30, we're setting that down for motions. It's possibly a motion to revoke bond, and then I guess that's outstanding. And then there's also, he's filed a motion to dismiss. Add-on calendar, position 1, no pros. Position 2 was a plea. Position 3 was a plea. Position 4 was a plea. 5 was a plea, and 6 was a plea. Woo! Good job, everyone. So, and I guess soon we're going to start having court here. I don't know when you've all been vaccinated or not, or when you're going to feel comfortable coming in. They are supposed to, within the next 10 days or so, have some more significant plastic protection in the courtroom. So we'll see. Okay.
Whenever that point does come, Judge, will we be having like a run through, like mock kind of thing, practice, so that we can get used to the new courtroom setup and not look crazy?
So you're welcome to come down whenever you want and let me know. Like, tell Aisha you can come down and sort of, I don't think that's a bad idea. In fact, what we could do is maybe I'd have like a little luncheon, something I used to do a long time ago. Aisha says no, but
don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that, Aisha.
It's still COVID.
I know, but once everyone has a few weeks out from their second shot, we could probably do that. I don't anticipate us having in-person court until then, so we're looking at another 6 weeks or so. And then we could have a little lunch and everyone kind of see how this works. But there's a monitor at each council. You see the picture, so you'd be sitting there.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah,
It's just-
and then
yeah.
you can't utilize that computer. It's simply just there for the monitor. And there is a big screen in the courtroom, and there's also one out in the hallway, so people could sort of come and watch a family member out in the hallway without being in here. So we obviously want to minimize the number of people that are in here. But once the plastic gets set up, the only thing that'll be a little, I guess we're going to have to see about having people have conferences in the jury room with a plastic setup, because you can't really have a private conference here in front of the monitor. So if you did want to talk to somebody, I'd probably set up some plastic in the jury room so you can be in there to have a conference either with the prosecutor or your client.
So my last question, at that time, will the only thing you'll be having in person will be trials? Are we still doing plea and arraignment and status calendars on Zoom, or?
So I'm happy to keep doing these by Zoom. I think it's easier for folks. I don't know when Mr. Gamage is going to require them to be here. I don't know if he's even had that discussion yet.
I think the state's preference is to continue to have hybrid calendars as long as possible. You know,
Yeah, you're right. I don't think he's pushing for to get people like large amounts of people in the courtroom unless that's.
I think that we've been quite successful with the hybrid calendars, so.
And that's fine, maybe for motions and obviously for trials. And then the others, you know, it really, people don't have to come down here. They can still be at work or taking care of their child. And for plea and arraignments and status, I'm fine doing it this way. I think just for motions and trials, obviously. And so I said, we're going to have the voir dire for civil cases virtually. I know that's potentially a problem criminally unless everyone were to waive that. So assuming not, then we'll have folks down here. But to pick a 6-person jury is not as difficult as a 12-person. So.
And typically the state is okay with having motions via Zoom. Typically it's the defense attorney who.
Right, I get it.
So. Hopefully we can stay virtual as long as possible.
I know it has its advantages. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Like I said, did everyone get their vaccine Tuesday?
I went through my.
Yeah, I got the first shot on Tuesday.
I got my first shot on last Saturday.
Well, y'all let me know if y'all grow a third leg.
Where are you?
I feel perfectly fine. I haven't had any supernatural powers.
Okay.
Same here.
We can't. In other words, they didn't put a bug in you, and you're not being monitored by the.
No, none. I have no feelings of any type of supernatural bestowment.
Spider-Man.
You have a
I mean, I had both mine already very early on, and I didn't feel well for a few days, but I have a compromised immune system, so that's a whole nother. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. We'll see you all
Tuesday.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.